Are electric vehicles truly environmentally friendly? Welcome to Future Forward. I'm your host, Arya, and in this episode, we're digging deep into a critical debate. The environmental impact of electric vehicles versus their counterparts, the internal combustion engine. Intricacies of manufacturing, supply chain sourcing, the role of specialized elements, environmental controversies, ICE advances, and the holistic assessment of their environmental cost are all at play to swing the answer to this question one way or the other. Let's start with manufacturing and supply chain sourcing. Electric vehicles symbolize a transition towards sustainable mobility, but their production isn't without ecological consequences. The extraction and processing of key materials like lithium, cobalt, and rare earth elements for EV batteries pose environmental challenges. To begin with, the mining of these materials can lead to habitat destruction, soil and water pollution, and disruption of ecosystems. In regions where these materials are mined, such as some areas in Africa for cobalt, the mining process can have negative impacts on local communities and their health due to exposure to harmful chemicals and dust particles. The energy-intensive extraction and processing of these materials contribute to carbon emissions, thus undermining the initial goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions through EV adoption. Mining, refining, and transporting these materials also require significant amounts of energy often derived from fossil fuels, which can again contribute to air pollution and climate change. In the case of cobalt, ethical concerns have emerged due to reports of child labor and unsafe working conditions in some mining operations. The supply chain for these materials can be opaque and difficult to trace, making it challenging to ensure that ethical and environmentally responsible practices are followed throughout the entire process. Demand for these materials is rapidly increasing as the EV market expands. This demand puts pressure on already limited global supplies, potentially leading to resource depletion and geopolitical tensions over access to these materials. Weighed against this, ICE vehicles rely on oil extraction with its own set of environmental concerns. Crude oil extraction involves drilling, which can lead to habitat disruption and destruction of ecosystems in sensitive areas such as oceans and forests. Oil spills and transportation pose significant threats to aquatic life and coastal environments and cause long-term ecological damage. Refining oil into usable fuels emits greenhouse gases and air pollutants that contribute to climate change. And of course, burning fossil fuels in ICE vehicles releases carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and particulate matter that are a major contributor to the greenhouse effect, climate change, and adverse health effects for humans. As you now know, EV's reliance on lithium-ion batteries brings attention to specialized chemicals like cobalt, which has sparked ethical concerns over mining practices. But innovative strides are being made to develop cobalt-free batteries, highlighting the evolving landscape of EV technology and its commitment to reducing environmental impact. Comparing the environmental footprints of EVs and ICE vehicles involves a broader perspective. While EVs are hailed for their zero-emission operation, their carbon footprint is tied to the energy sources powering the grid. Conversely, ICE vehicles produce emissions during operation but have evolved with cleaner fuels, advanced engines, and improved efficiency, narrowing the environmental gap. But internal combustion engines are undergoing a revolution of their own. Cleaner fuels like Porsche's synthetic petrol and biofuels have contributed to reduced emissions, and cleaner engine design and hybrid technology have led to greater fuel efficiency, minimizing their environmental impact. The environmental cost of producing an EV encompasses battery manufacturing, vehicle assembly, and beyond. Similarly, ICE vehicles undergo energy-intensive processes for refining and engine manufacturing. However, the pivotal difference lies in the operational phase. EVs emit virtually no tailpipe pollutants during use, while ICE vehicles continue to contribute to air pollution. The end-of-life cycle introduces further complexities for both camps. EV batteries, after a certain lifespan, face questions about efficient disposal and recycling. As these batteries degrade over time and lose their capacity to hold a charge, they need to be replaced. However, the disposal of these batteries requires careful consideration due to their chemical composition. Lithium-ion batteries, commonly used in EVs, contain hazardous materials that can pose environmental risks if not managed properly. The challenge lies in developing recycling and disposal methods that minimize the release of toxic substances into the environment. On the other hand, ICE vehicles, while not grappling with the same battery disposal issues, still require responsible dismantling and recycling practices to minimize their environmental footprint. This involves managing hazardous materials like oil, coolant, and other fluids that can contaminate soil and water if not handled properly. And the recycling of metals and materials from ICE vehicles can be resource-intensive and may contribute to energy consumption and emissions. It seems the intricate web of resource extraction, refinement, transportation, and manufacturing on both sides of the argument requires a comprehensive evaluation. And you may be starting to see that in the grand debate of EVs versus ICE vehicles, there's no clear-cut answer. The journey towards environmentally friendly transportation requires considering complex and numerous facets. But as technology advances and our awareness deepens, we're presented with opportunities to shape a sustainable transportation future. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Future Forward. If you found this video insightful, remember to show your appreciation by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. We're eager to hear your thoughts on this intricate subject too, so please share your insights in the comments below. As we navigate the road to a cleaner and more connected future, let's keep exploring to make better, more informed choices.